The invasion did not begin with fire. It began with silence. Satellites vanished first, blinking out one by one as if the stars themselves were closing their eyes. Astronomers noticed the anomaly hours before the world knew, watching impossible shadows slide across distant constellations. By the time governments confirmed the truth, it was already too late. The sky fractured. Massive alien vessels emerged from nothingness, eclipsing the sun with cold, metallic indifference. Humanity looked up together for the last time as one species, and realized history had ended. They came without warning, without declaration, without mercy. The aliens did not broadcast threats or demands. They did not negotiate. They descended with mathematical precision, their ships hovering over cities, oceans, and continents like executioners awaiting a signal. Then the signal came. Entire capitals were erased in seconds, reduced to molten glass and ash. Defense systems failed instantly. Missiles vanished before launch. Humanity's greatest weapons were rendered obsolete by technology centuries beyond understanding. The aliens called themselves the Karzeth Dominion, an ancient empire born before Earth had oceans. To them, the universe was a hierarchy, and strength was the only language that mattered. Species were either conquerors or resources. Earth had been classified as both. Humans were studied, measured, and dismissed as fragile, emotional creatures, divided by borders, beliefs, and fear. The Dominion expected surrender within 48 hours. What they did not expect was resistance. The first human counterattacks were chaotic and desperate. Fighter jets screamed into the sky only to be swatted down by invisible energy fields. Armored divisions rolled forward and were erased in waves of blue plasma. Millions died in the opening days, and yet, humans kept fighting. Not because they believed they could win, but because surrender meant extinction. And humanity had never accepted extinction quietly. As cities burned, survivors retreated underground. Subway tunnels became command centers. Bunkers became laboratories. Old enemies became allies overnight. Scientists who once competed for funding now worked side by side, tearing apart captured alien fragments with shaking hands. Engineers studied alien alloys that defied physics. Soldiers learned to recognize the sound of incoming plasma fire and the glow of alien blades slicing through smoke. The Dominion was confused. No species had ever resisted this long without unified command or superior technology. Human warfare made no sense. They ambushed when outmatched, retreated when victory seemed possible, and sacrificed entire battalions to delay enemy advances by minutes. To the Dominion, these actions were illogical. To humans, they were necessary. On the ruins of what was once a megacity, a small group of soldiers held a broken bridge against an advancing alien legion. They knew they would die. Their ammunition was low. Air support was gone. Evacuation impossible. Yet they stood shoulder to shoulder, bloodied and exhausted, firing until their weapons melted. When the last soldier fell, the bridge collapsed behind them, buying thousands of civilians time to escape. The Dominion recorded the encounter as insignificant. Humanity remembered it as legend. As weeks turned into months, something began to change. Alien casualties increased. Not dramatically, but noticeably. Human forces started using stolen energy shields. Alien weapons were modified to fit human hands. Tactics evolved. Traps replaced frontal assaults. Hit-and-run attacks replaced static defenses. Humans learned how to bleed an empire slowly. Then came the turning point, the first human victory in space. A Dominion patrol fleet entered what they believed was an abandoned sector near Jupiter. What they found instead was a kill zone. Crude human warships, ugly, asymmetrical, and unstable, emerged from behind asteroids and debris. They moved erratically, ignoring formation logic, pushing engines beyond safe limits. When Dominion ships fired precision beams, the humans accelerated directly into them, detonating overloaded reactors at point-blank range. The explosion destroyed half the fleet. The Dominion called it barbaric. Humanity called it proof. From that moment on, the war expanded beyond Earth. Human resistance cells formed across the solar system. Colonies once considered insignificant became fortresses. Asteroid belts became minefields. Every human ship was built with one rule in mind: if it could not win, it would ensure the enemy did not either. Among the stars, stories spread, whispers among alien ranks. Humans who continued fighting after losing limbs. Pilots who rammed enemy cruisers while transmitting final messages of defiance. Marines who laughed as they charged overwhelming forces. Fear crept into Dominion command structures, something they had not felt in millennia. One image, captured by a Dominion drone, changed everything. A human mother, wearing damaged powered armor, stood amid a battlefield holding a child against her chest. Around her, alien bodies burned. She did not advance. She did not retreat. She simply stood there, weapon raised, daring the universe to try again. The footage circulated across alien networks, dissected NN. As the Dominion escalated, so did humanity. Entire human fleets vanished into deep space, only to reappear months later armed with hybrid technology, alien cores fused with human ingenuity. These ships were unstable, dangerous even to their own crews. But humans accepted that cost. To them, survival had always required sacrifice. The final phase of the war began near a dying star on the edge of known space. The Dominion assembled its greatest fleet, determined to end the conflict once and for all. Thousands of ships, weapons capable of cracking planets, commanders who had never known defeat. They believed humanity would finally break. Humanity arrived with fewer ships. But every one of them was prepared to die. The battle that followed rewrote galactic history. Space burned. Stars flickered behind shields and explosions. Human ships charged headfirst into enemy lines, breaking formations, drawing fire, creating openings. Dominion vessels fought with precision and discipline, but against an enemy that did not care about survival, only victory. Precision was not enough. As the battle reached its climax, a single human flagship pushed forward, its hull burning, engines failing. Dominion commanders focused their fire, determined to erase it. Instead, the ship transmitted a message, broadcast across every frequency, translated automatically by Dominion systems. "This is not a declaration of war," the human captain said calmly. "This is a declaration of refusal." The flagship detonated, triggering a chain reaction within the dying star. The resulting explosion consumed the Dominion fleet, annihilating their command structure in seconds. When the light faded, the war was over. Humanity had won. The aftermath was quieter than anyone expected. Alien empires retreated. Borders were redrawn. Earth was left scarred but alive. Humanity emerged changed, hardened, united, and no longer alone. Across the galaxy, species studied human history with new eyes. They learned of a species born fragile, divided, and afraid, yet capable of unimaginable resilience. The Dominion's final records were sealed with a warning, passed down through generations of alien scholars: do not provoke humans. They do not seek conquest. They seek survival. And they will burn the stars before surrendering it. Humanity returned to the sky, not as conquerors, but as guardians of their own future. The universe had tested them. And humanity had answered. Not with surrender. But with defiance.